Welcome to our video chat for May of 2024 of Donkeys and Dragons, where we spend about 15 minutes chatting about a specific topic somewhat related to holistic testing. Today, our topic for discussion is continuous delivery and teaching the course on that subject. Our guest, Gaspar Nagy, a leading BDD, behavior-driven development coach, author, trainer, test automation expert, creator of Roll, I hope I'm saying that right, and SpecFlow, .NET test automation frameworks.
Hello, everyone.
We were so lucky to meet Gaspar years ago at various conferences, including Agile Testing Days. And he was an early leader of behavior-driven development, creating frameworks to use Cucumber with .NET. He's the co-author of the wonderful BDD book series, which we always highly recommend, Discovery and Formulation. And we'll have links for all these things on the page for YouTube. We're so lucky that Gaspar is also a training provider for our holistic testing courses. He recently taught the Holistic Testing for Continuous Delivery course, which is one thing we want to talk about today. Hello, I'm Lisa Crispin.
I'm Jenna Gregory. And you've already met Gaspar.
Yeah, hello, everyone. I'm Gaspar Nagy.
So you were one of the leading right? And I know that you had a full house of students for your holistic testing for continuous delivery class in April. You helped us a lot at the very beginning when we were creating the course and refining it and improving it. And I know you were the first person to actually teach it, besides to other instructors. So can you tell us, was there any difference between when you taught it the first time and when you taught it this time?
Yeah, I think it's always different. And this is actually what I really like in these courses. So that for two reasons. The one reason is that the audience is always different. And these courses are highly intensive communicative courses. So people are discussing with each other. And I think they are learning just as much from each other than from me or from us with the material. So it's always slightly different. And this time they were a little bit bigger group than the usual, which I always like. I mean, of course, it's a little bit more harder to manage a bigger group, but of course there are also more discussions and more diversity of the people. So yeah, I really enjoy that, and also true that I think these courses work really well if everyone is putting their own personal experience, personal stories, what happened, and I also do that. And of course, it's not every time some other project story comes to my mind. So from that perspective, all of my courses are slightly different depending on which idea or which memory is popping up during the course.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, Janet.
Just to say, I know that different instructors like different numbers of students as well. I'm a fan of, especially if remote, not too big a classes because it's a lot more difficult. So it's good that you are able to manage those kinds of things.
Well, you do so much training, Gaspar, so you've had a lot of practice. And it's great that you have those stories to tell because you have such in-depth experience with things like continuous delivery, but you're also one of the leading experts in behavior-driven development, or BDD. And those two things have always intrigued me together. So a few years ago, George Dinwiddie, who's also an expert in BDD, and we got curious about how BDD relates to the context of continuous delivery. And we actually got together and decided to write an article on it so we could think about it. And we found ways that BDD can enable successful continuous delivery and how continuous delivery enhances the benefits that we see of BDD. For example, shared understanding at the left-hand stage of that holistic testing cycle helps avoid rework and so shortens cycle time. And so we were wondering if you have any thoughts on that. And do you talk about BDD at all when you're working with the class participants in the continuous delivery class?
So I think that's absolutely true. So I totally agree to you that how BDD fits into continuous delivery. And I would say that I typically see that even from one step back, and for me, BDD is providing that confidence or trust bit in continuous delivery, which is I think super important. That the continuous delivery as a concept, I think, works the best if finally you are somehow getting confident that whatever comes through the pipeline, maybe with a couple of manual steps, additional manual steps, is something that you can deliver. That's the continuously, so to say. And for that, you need to know that that pipeline is not only verifying your code and not only providing coverage for your code, but tries to provide coverage for what you wanted, so for the requirements. And therefore, those kind of testing or those kind of methods that are bringing closer the testing to the originating source, the requirements, like BDD, are I think super important to have this trust or this kind of confidence that we need to have. Dave Farley, by the way, who is one of the authors of the continuous delivery book, is also talking quite a lot about BDD, and he's also highlighting that kind of connection between the two concepts. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'll have to check. I haven't watched any of his videos lately. I need to go check in.
Yeah. I think a lot of people misunderstand BDD to begin with, which is one of the things I like about your book is that they think it's the automation part of it, which is really, it's more about the understanding part of it, right?
Yes. Understanding is essential. Otherwise, this connection to the requirement is basically will not exist.
Mhm. So do you see, because you talked to a lot of different teams, do you see more teams moving to continuous delivery? I know that sometimes when I've been out there, it's been teams that are so far away from continuous delivery, they can't even imagine it. Do you see more of that? And if
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah,
So maybe I'm just lucky, but I see that. So I think the most of the teams that I meet are getting towards continuous delivery, and I think maybe the continuous delivery is more like a goal that we would like to achieve. And of course, there are several stages to that. But once you have this goal and once you set this goal, then that's already a good point. And I think, so almost all of my clients are on this road in somewhere. So it's never really questioned anymore, at least with those people who I meet, whether they want to have continuous delivery or not, but how can they get closer to that? A couple of weeks ago, I just have seen a very good presentation from a person from Philips Healthcare, who are working with X-ray machines, and you would think that managing such an X-ray machine is not really the easiest agile thing, because I mean it's in a hospital or whatever, and he was explaining how they have changed their way of thinking about those machines to be able to enable more frequent releases, what kind of benefits they got from that, and how do they solve this all these things and implemented continuous delivery, of course, also together with BDD. So it was really impressive what he presented there from an industry that you wouldn't think that they are so much agile.
Yeah, I think we have to see more of those kinds of presentations, because a lot of the things that I've heard is it will work in my place, right? So when you can use something like that as a beacon to say, look, these people are doing that. And the question, and I think you said it very well there, you said, looking at how can we get there? So not saying we can't, but trying to take those baby steps in getting there. What do you see getting in their way to getting to that point? Do you see like a specific kind of thing that comes up over and over again besides their mindset?
I don't see, or maybe there is no one single thing that is typically a blocker for that. I think especially for a more complex, bigger project, you really have to have smart solutions, smart ideas, and it will be unique to your place. how do you solve that, maybe that very specific testing problem or test automation problem? How do you solve that particular thing that is making harder to make releases or deployments? Or how do you solve that particular piece where it looks like that it's only really possible to verify that with manual effort or with human testing? And there are, I don't think that there is a one size fits all solutions for all these questions. The team has to collaborate together, so that the holistic approach that we also teach in the courses, and they have to find some smart solutions that are suiting for their purpose.
Okay, so one last question, just come out of what you just said there. So the course itself it's kind of generic for everybody, but do you think the course helps team members? Because a lot of people they think, oh, there's, site reliability engineers and they're the ones responsible. Do you think the course actually helps delivery team members understand what their role is in continuous delivery, or could be?
Yes, absolutely. So I think the course generally gives a good overview of what is about the concept of continuous delivery, and helps you to develop this kind of goal setting, so that where do we want to get and what kind of options. Of course, within a few days we will not be able to go through all of the different concrete practices and tools and whatever. There's a hell a lot of tools. Just if you think about whatever monitoring, then there are plenty of them. But we are just trying to show different options and ideas that are working as some sort of exciter for everyone, I think.
Right. Excellent.
Great. That's so good to hear. So you're well known for the SpecFlow open source framework which is Cucumber for .NET environments. And we see that you've got a brand new one that you've been offering training for, which is Wreck and Roll. I love that name. I was wondering if you can give us a quick overview, like how is it new? What does it do differently than SpecFlow?
So technically, Wreck and Roll is a fork of SpecFlow. So basically, it just stopped at the moment at the name SpecFlow. We renamed it, and now it continues as Wreck and Roll. So at that moment, it's basically just doing the same what SpecFlow did. The name and the reboot, the new name, is more like an organizational thing. Somehow the SpecFlow project that is not getting maintained anymore, but many people use that, and of course the technology stack and all of those things are continuously evolving. There is a new .NET version, whatever. So we need to keep it alive in a way that it can be used by the community, and with those frames that the SpecFlow had with the ownership structure, this wasn't really possible. So that's why we had to do this step and basically just fork it and give it a new life with a new name. But it's a new project for me. I started this year, and super a lot of work. So I'm really spent a lot of time on that. However, even after 2-3 months of existence, it's very rewarding. So I was expecting that I just do this fork, announce it, and I just work alone. But it was completely the opposite. So even after a week, or maybe even less than a week, I got a lot of new committers, people who are actively contributing. In many cases, it happened that I had something in my to-do list that I want to do that I didn't even write it up to GitHub, and somebody was just coming that, here is a pull request for that. So it's amazing how much energy the community has, and how good feeling is to really work together on an open source project. Really like a community effort. So yeah, I'm really glad that I started with that.
Oh, that is so great to hear. Open source can be really hard, so it's great to hear our communities building around it.
And the fact that people are wanting to contribute because it's useful, right? And that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
need it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I
All
do
right.
mostly project management since then because there are so many people and I need to. Yeah, so but
Great.
it's really good, and we have the links in the we will have the links in the posting. I'm really asking everyone who is interested to just try it out, help with a little fix, whatever, fixing a wording in on the documentation, or making some small improvement, or just share it with their colleagues, or make a whatever, a small presentation in the local community about that. Those things are also all very useful, and I think the community can benefit from that.
Okay.
Nice.
So we'll just wrap up. Can you tell us when the next time you're going to teach that continuous delivery course, holistic testing and continuous delivery?
Yeah, I think it's in September. I didn't
Okay.
prepare with the exact
Oh,
date,
great.
but I think it's in September.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere.
They
Yes,
can look it up.
September the 9th. Yes, that's
Right.
the.
All right. They can look it up and we'll show our contact information here right away too. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on the show. And
Are you
we
going to
will
show
be-
the slides, Janet?
I am. I'm just
Okay.
figuring out my share here again.
I was hoping you weren't counting on me to do it.
No.
All right, so here's how to get in touch with us. We always love to hear from you, and please also check out the links to all of Gashpar's work, which we'll put in the show notes. If you like this video, please click that little like button and subscribe to our channel. And also check out on our Agile Testing Fellowship website. We have a newsletter you can subscribe to. We have exclusive content every month. And we also have blog posts pretty frequently. So let's all keep learning and discovering new things, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.